the greatest of all time, Dirk Nowitzki.
Wow. This is,
I would be lying if I said that it didn't bother me.
Five-time world champion, Kobe Bryant.
The final game, The Last Dance, the moment every NBA legend knows is coming, but no one is ever truly ready for. For years, they've battled, bled, and built their legacies only for it all to come down to one last night on the court. Some go out with a bang, some quietly fade into the background, and for others, that final game doesn't even feel real until it's over. What goes through a player's mind when they step onto the court for the last time? What do they remember most? And how do they handle the emotions of saying goodbye to the game that shaped their lives? Well, who better to answer that than the legends themselves?
Mamba out.
And to start us off is none other than Kobe Bryant. The 2015-16 season was a disaster for the Lakers, statistically the worst in franchise history, but no one in LA cared because that year wasn't about the wins and losses. It was about saying goodbye to the Black Mamba. After 20 years, 5 championships, and countless unforgettable moments, Kobe Bryant was stepping onto the floor one last time, and in true Kobe fashion, he wasn't going out quietly. On April 13th, 2016, in front of a packed Staples Center, Kobe delivered the kind of performance that only he was capable of. 60 points in his farewell game against the Utah Jazz. For the former Lakers head coach, Byron Scott knew exactly what that night meant to him.
I said, Kobe, the floor is yours, and he said, all he wanted these guys to understand is he left everything on that floor. He said, I have no regrets whatsoever because I left everything I had in my body on that floor. Yeah. And that goes back to what you were saying. The man just had a will, and he didn't never wanted to ever look back and say, man, if I would have played a little harder, if I'd have did this. He said, I left everything on that floor. And I'll remember that for the rest of my life because I'm standing there like, yes, he did. Yeah.
And it wasn't just the Lakers who were locked into the moment. The entire arena felt like it existed just for Kobe that night. Gordon Hayward, who played for Utah that game, described it like something straight out of a movie.
Final minute 30. Bryant from 14 has 53.
You're just like, all right. I mean, he's feeling it now.
Then, as the final buzzer sounded, Kobe took the mic for one last time and gave the world a farewell only he could deliver.
This has been absolutely beautiful, you guys. I can't believe it's come to an end. You guys will always be in my heart, and I sincerely appreciate it. No words can describe how I feel about you guys. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys, and I love you guys. And my family, my wife Vanessa, our daughters Natalia and Gianna, thank you guys for all your sacrifice. For all the hours I spent in the gym working and training. And Vanessa, you holding down the family the way that you have. I can't, there's no way that I can thank you enough for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And what can I say? Mamba out.
And just like that, the curtain closed on one of the greatest careers the game has ever seen. But unlike Kobe, Dwayne Wade didn't need a 60-point explosion to make his farewell game special. His presence alone was enough to make Miami fans emotional. Wade had already built a legacy that would cement him as the greatest player in Heat history. 3 championships, 13 All-Star appearances, franchise leader in points, assists, steals, and minutes played. And in his final home game, he gave Miami one last show. Against the Sixers, Wade dropped 30 points, proving that even in his last moments on an NBA court, he was still that guy. He's got 30 points. But despite the hype, Wade wasn't about to let emotions get the best of him. He admitted at the post-game interview.
Your thoughts, sir?
Well, my thoughts are all over the place, Jax. I think about the moment that my agent came to the table in New York in 2003 and told me that he was about to pick me at 5. And it was a numb feeling, similar to what I'm feeling right now. But from the first conversation I had back to this arena, that day. I heard the ovation, I heard the love, and I appreciated it then. And I more than appreciate it now, man. So I'm sitting here as the most thankful person in this state.
That was tragic. Let's try it again. Let's do it this way. All right. As simple as this. Wade County, I love you.
And in 2020, the Heat made it official his number 3 jersey was retired forever, hanging in the rafters alongside the franchise's greatest legends. Dwayne Wade didn't just leave as a Miami Heat icon. He left as one of the greatest to ever play the game. For Tim Duncan, he never wanted the spotlight. No farewell tour, no standing ovations, no emotional speeches. He was there to win. That's it. So, when he decided that the 2015-16 season, one of the best in San Antonio Spurs history, would be his last, no announcements, no hints, not even his own teammates were aware that Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals would be the final time Duncan would ever step onto an NBA court. And yet, in typical Duncan fashion, he delivered. He put up his best performance of the postseason, 19 points on 50% shooting with 5 rebounds. That might not sound mind-blowing, but considering he was 39 years old and had been averaging just 6 points per game in that playoff run, it was a statement. But was it a farewell performance?
Duncan, blocked by Ibaka, picked up by Westbrook. Westbrook to Durant, and the finish. Oh, a huge...
Probably not, because Tim Duncan never played for moments, he played for winning. And with the Spurs facing elimination, he wasn't going down without a fight. No farewell game, no big celebration, just one last battle before quietly walking off the court forever.
Perhaps for the final time of his illustrious career.
But Paul Pierce was never one for quiet exits. His entire career had been filled with dramatic moments, and his final game in Boston was no different. It would have been enough for Pierce to wave goodbye to the Boston crowd, maybe kneel down and kiss Lucky the Leprechaun at half court one last time before disappearing into the tunnel. But that would have been too boring for the truth. Instead, he did what he always did. With 11 seconds left, he pulled up from 28 foot, held his follow-through high, and buried one last three-pointer in TD Garden.
Oh, come on! An appropriate ending for Paul Pierce.
The crowd erupted. The shot didn't even matter. The game was already decided. But for Pierce, it was the only way to go out.
Did it any better? 18 years ago today, you made your Celtics debut. Today, your last regular season game here. What's this day like been for you?
I've been enjoying every moment of it, man. It's just the fans, it's great fans. They truly appreciate what I've been able to do for this franchise, and I just really feel the love, and I'm thankful to be able to come in here one last time.
Afterward, reflecting on his career, he summed it up perfectly.
Man, 19 years, man, giving everything I have every day. Man, it's finally come to an end. You know, it got to end one day, so been really appreciative to what this game been able to do for me and what I've been able to do in this game. You know, this game has changed my life, my family's life. I've been able to travel around the world, go to places I never thought I'd be in. You know, who'd have even thought a kid from Inglewood just end up here, right here on the big stage, you know, win a championship, travel the world, be an inspiration to a lot of young ball players today. You know, so
And just like that, the truth left the court for the last time. However, not every legend gets the storybook ending. Some go out dropping 60 points, others barely get a chance to leave a mark. For Shaquille O'Neal, his final NBA game wasn't just quiet, it was non-existent. No points, no rebounds, no assists, just 3 minutes and 31 seconds in a Game 4 semifinals loss to the Miami Heat in 2011. But by then, injuries had already taken everything from Shaq, the dominant force who once shattered backboards and bullied entire franchises, was now just a shell of himself. That season, everyone knew this wasn't Shaw Diesel anymore. And yet, even though his final game ended without a moment to remember, his career left behind a legacy no one could ever forget. And for Michael Jordan, his final game wasn't a championship moment. It wasn't a buzzer beater. It wasn't even in a Bulls jersey. It was April 16th. 2003, a 40-year-old MJ suiting up for the Washington Wizards, a team that wouldn't even make the playoffs. The Wizards lost by 20 points. Jordan finished with 15, and yet it was still a moment, because when MJ walked off the court for the final time, the entire Philadelphia crowd stood up on their feet, roaring for the man who had changed the game forever.
Of a legendary career. Michael, it's been an honor to call your games and a privilege to watch you play. Thank you, Michael Jordan. Of a 32,000-plus point career, came from the free throw line.
You know, the Philly people did a great job. I mean, they supported me. They gave me the biggest inspiration, in a sense. I didn't think I would go back into the game. Obviously, the game didn't merit me, going back in and, maintaining or finding my competitive juices, because we were 25 points down. So obviously, and they were playing the young kids and we were playing our young kids. So it hits me that, I'm not going to be in a uniform anymore. So, and that's not a terrible feeling. I'm not. It's not terrible. It's something that I've come to grips with, and it's time. It's time. And I've seen a lot of people say my first time, my second time. This is the final retirement, and you don't have to worry about me putting on another uniform. But and I feel it.
Just like that, the greatest player of all time walked off the court for good this time around, and he heads through a tunnel of, and then there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. By 1989, he was 42 years old. He had already played 20 seasons, won 6 championships, and left a mark on the game that would never fade. So when he announced that the 1988 season would be his last, the entire league made sure his farewell tour was legendary. Every city, every team, every arena honored him, because Kareem wasn't just a dominant player, he was basketball royalty. And on April 22nd, 1989, he suited up for his final regular season game. It wasn't about stats. It wasn't about putting up one last performance. It was about the game paying its respects to one of the most unstoppable forces to ever touch a basketball.
That's it for Kareem now. That's it. He's out.
Poured my heart and guts here. It's a class organization here.
Reggie never got his ring. He never got the storybook ending. But in that moment, he was celebrated like a champion. Some legends go out with one last masterpiece. Others leave quietly, knowing they've given everything to the game. But no matter how they go, the final game is never just another night. Because when a great steps off the court for the last time, it's not just the end of a career, it's the end of an era.